welcome to the first episode of the Nashville Scoop. My name is Chris McKenna.
And I'm Craig Candage.
And our first review is going to be done on Mojos Tacos.
We did Mojos Tacos because it's one of our favorite spots and we want to share it with y'all. It's located in the factory in Franklin, which is about a mile from downtown Franklin. The factory is exactly that. It's a factory that's been renovated and turned into shopping, restaurants, things like that. Really cool spot. Check it out. They have two locations. They have one in the factory and they have one in Thompson Station. I've only been to the one in the factory, and that's the one that we're going to review today.
Yeah, so basically the way that this place is set up is, we always go to the bar, walk right in, sit down. We always eat lunch there. It's typically when we're eating there. I think, I don't know if have you ever had dinner or anything? I'm always there for lunch.
It's always been lunch for me.
Yeah. So, it's never like super, super crowded. There was one time I walked in, it was absolutely packed, jammed, like lying out the door, not a seat at the bar, and it was really weird. It was a strange time of day. It was like a Tuesday at like 2:30 in the afternoon, so that was odd. But, I've been there about probably 6 or 7 times, and all but once I've been able to just walk right up to the bar. There is another option for people that haven't been there is, you can get into a line, you walk up to the register, you order your food, drinks, and things like that. They give you a number, you just pick your own seat, and then they deliver you your food. I haven't done it before, but, that is another option.
Limited seating inside, but they do have quite a bit of seating outside. And with Nashville weather, that's a lot of people choose to go outside, so...
So this time when we went to do our review, doing our research, which was basically just a regular weekday for us.
Just lunch.
We've been there so many times. But so what we did was we ordered, we'll kind of give you a rundown of what we ordered. There's so many different options that they have there. But, they got a list of about, 10 specialty tacos that you can pick from. Mm-hmm. We did a combo. So the combo, you get 2 tacos, you get some sort of a side. I always get the chips and salsa with it. I forget what you.
I always get the street corn.
Yeah. So the tacos that we ordered, I got like the Baja fish taco, and I think it was a brisket taco. So that's basically my go-to at this point. I had messed around a little bit with a couple other things the first couple times I went in, and everything has been great every single time. But I'm at the point now where I have my go-to. So that's what I did. What'd you have?
Same. I've tried every single taco that they offer, and they do have seasonally. They change it up too. So there's some that you haven't tried.
Nice.
Some that I haven't tried, but
something for next week.
Exactly. I had the fried chicken and I had the chicken fajita taco.
Nice.
And those are my go-tos as well.
Yep.
The reason I like the fried chicken is because it's incredibly crispy on the outside and very juicy on the inside. And so it's just like a perfect fried chicken. You throw that into a tortilla and you can't beat it. Yeah.
Yeah. I love fish tacos, but I'm very, very picky as far as like where I will get fish from of any kind. And I've had some places that are like, oh, they have the best fish, and I've tried it, and it's just like it was a weird spot, and it just didn't. That their specialty wasn't fish. And I'm not saying that this place is, but, I went in and I tried it that first time, and it is actually really, really good fish taco. It's probably one of my favorites. I'd say like maybe top 2 or 3 anywhere that I've ever been. So
with that said, a little background on us. We're both from New England. So we had about the freshest fish you could possibly get at our fingertips at any time. So having being here now, it's you got to pick and choose your fish.
Yeah, it can be a little bit tougher to find some good fish, but
absolutely.
So and the other thing that I guess we should say about this place is, we were talking before, and we've definitely been to some more authentic taco places.
This is definitely Americanized tacos,
which is fine. I had spent a few baseball off seasons out in Southern California, spent some time in Texas, family, friends that have been out there. You definitely get a more authentic taco or Mexican food and things like that in those places. But I mean, and you're not getting authentic Mexican or authentic tacos here. Okay, so everybody just be clear about that. All right.
If you're looking for authentic, go to Nolensville Pike or East Nashville, because there's some incredible taco trucks and trailers there that they're amazing.
Right.
And you can't even compare them to each other.
Exactly.
But this one is a big tourist spot, and it's also just very popular with locals. So that's why we're doing this one today.
And there's nothing wrong with this, it's just it's different. So we don't want you to think, oh yeah, we're gonna go get some authentic Mexican. You're not,
right?
It's close. It's really good. And I've always loved the food there. So
and it's quick.
That's one of the biggest things too. Like, and I noticed it like probably 2 or 3 times ago when I was there. You order your food and the food's out in like 3 minutes.
I don't even know how they make it that fast.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
But it's great. And I mean, as far as like something like presentation, I mean, it's not like they're in the back of the kitchen like making this stuff look amazing. They're tossing your tacos into like a little cardboard box and throwing it in front of you.
The cardboard box are like, they remind you of Little League fry boxes.
Right.
Do you remember those where they just throw them in a little canoe?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that's exactly what they are. We'll probably toss a bunch of pictures up on the websites and things like that, the Facebook page. So if you guys want, and we'll actually have some pictures of the menu as well. So we'll throw all of that up on the page, and you can check all of that out there. So service, what do you think about service?
We sit at the bar every time we go. It's usually one or two. It's usually the same person every time we go, so that's their shift. So they kind of get familiar with you. As far as service is concerned, I've had extremely good service there.
Yeah, me too.
And I've had service where, I've gone with my wife, Jess, and we waited 10 minutes just to get a menu. So it really just depends on how busy they are and how that is. But I would say 90% of the time, service is right on.
I think it's pretty much the same with me. I think I've been, I want to say about 6 times at this point, and I think once I waited more than 2 minutes to get any type of service there. But that was one of the busier times. So price-wise, what did we pay? It was about, I think you pay, if you're just going to get the tacos, I think it's about somewhere around $5 per taco. I think you're good at 2 tacos. You could get into 3 if you're really hungry. But I mean, even for me, I think the first time I went, I had 3 and I was like, that's too much.
They're big tacos.
They are.
So that's one thing, is that for a combo, the 2 tacos and either chips and salsa, or 2 tacos and a side, which they have about 5 or 6 sides. Check out the menu on our website or our socials. But it's $14 for the 2 tacos and a side or the chips. Nice. So not bad. When you're breaking it down, and for the size of the tacos.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, this time when we did the review, I mean, typically whenever we go, we have lunch. I mean, for me, I usually just grab a beer if I'm going to drink something. They get a bunch of beers on tap and stuff. So it's typically what I do. But for the review, what I wanted to do, I know you had picked out, what was it, a sangria?
I got sangria.
So you got that. How was it?
I'm not a tequila guy, and if you look at the drink menu, a lot of their drinks are tequila, being a taco joint.
Sure.
The sangria was, I've had a lot of sangrias in my day, and the sangria was fruity. It wasn't dry like a lot of them. It was fruity. It was full. I'm not a wine connoisseur by any means, but I was already feeling a little buzzed after about 3/4 the way down. So
nice.
it was definitely a stiff one as well.
Yeah.
Definitely worth the $7 for sure. And that's as far as Nashville or Greater Nashville is concerned, $7 for a drink is considered incredibly cheap.
Nice. So I went and I wanted to see what the bartender actually had to recommend. So I just told her to pick the best drink on the menu. She came up with the Supreme, I think it's called. I think it was like $12. It's definitely a tequila drink. I'm also not a huge tequila fan. I'll drink it, and I have no problem doing that. But I would never go in and order a tequila drink. But it actually was really good. So it tasted great. It came in the presentation was nice. Came in like a skull glass and everything,
Like a skull mug. It was pretty cool, actually.
Right, yeah. So, but it was good. It tasted really good, and it was strong. It was very strong. So by the time I got done with it too, it was like, oh, all right. You definitely knew you had a drink after one. So, but it was good. It tasted good. I think overall, we had 2 combos. We had the 2 drinks. We did order. I think we both got regular
both got
drinks
sweet
as
teas
well.
as
Yeah,
well.
sweet
Yeah.
teas.
And they're
So-
sweet teas. If you're from the South or coming to the South and you're having sweet tea, their sweet tea it's top notch. It's there's a lot here that are just too sugary, too much syrup, too much of something. These ones are kind of a perfect blend.
Yeah, so it was good. I think overall, we spent $50, not including tax and tip. So I think everything came out to $50 between 2 of us. So not bad for a lunch at a bar.
And your drink was $12, which is
Yeah.
about average for that type of drink here.
Yep.
So not bad when you're considering the drinks alone were $19.
Yep. And so real quick, like what type of people do you typically see coming in there? You get a little bit of a mix of everything.
I mean, you literally have a mix of everything. I've seen guys in there with suits, which is sometimes us. I've seen, high school kids in there,
There's families.
families. I mean,
Tourists.
especially on the weekends, you get, there's a mixed batch in there,
Sure.
which is good.
One thing I know, you weren't with me on this occasion. Actually, my wife Ashley was with me, but ran into somebody. It was funny. We were sitting at the bar talking about what types of people go in there. Apparently celebrities as well. So we're just sitting at the bar, and I'm just like looking around, and I see some old scraggly guy. Looked, pretty interesting. He was hard to miss, And I just looked over at him, and he looked at me, and he gave me like this really weird look, and then like sort of put his head down and sort of looked away. And I was like, why would somebody look at me and then look away like that? Like it was like he was hiding something, like one of those looks. And I was like thinking to myself, I'm like, why would somebody do that? I was like, is he famous or like trying not to get noticed? And I didn't recognize the face at first, and I started going back and I'm thinking about it. And I was like, I think I know who that is. And I had a name in my head. And I went onto my phone and I was like, what does this guy look like now? And does he live in Nashville? And sure enough, it says that this guy had just moved to Nashville about 2 years ago. And I mean, I didn't talk to him or anything, but I know it was him. So I don't know if you ever seen the movie. We're going way back now. Now we're going to start dating ourselves. So Outsiders. Did you see The Outsiders?
Oh, yeah.
All right, good. So did you ever see Soul Man?
Stay golden, pony boy. I know who you're talking about.
So I swear I saw C. Thomas Howell there. I guess you told me he goes by some sort of a different name now.
He's going by Tommy Howell now, and he's a musician.
Okay. All right. So
And
yeah,
he's been here for a couple years.
we're gonna toss a picture of him up there too. We'll toss a picture of Pony Boy up on the page.
He looks a little different these days.
He looks a lot different these days. Yeah. I think the only reason I even recognize him is because I think it was probably like a year or two ago. I think he had done something, and I didn't even notice that it was him. And I saw the name come up on the credits, and I was like, "Who was he in that show or that movie and stuff?" And I saw him, I was like, "Wow."
He looks like he's still on the run.
Yeah. So definitely interesting. So yeah, you get a little bit of everything going in there. You get some celebrities, families. You get everything. So overall, I mean, we're going to kind of go through a lot of these questions with all the places that we review, but would you go back? Of course you would.
I'll go back another 100 times at least,
I
I'm
think
sure.
we'll probably be back on Monday.
Yeah. Maybe later today.
So yeah, so obviously I would go back as well. Now, final thing, rate it. 1 to 10, what do you give Mojos Tacos?
Do you want to rate a typical taco rate? Do you want to go off like best tacos I've ever had, or just overall?
Overall, like atmosphere, like
It's got it's really good vibe in there too.
Yeah.
Service is good. The delivery of the food is very quick. I mean, I'm gonna give it on a 1 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give it a 8.8.
8.8. All right, that's pretty high. That's a lot for everybody else to live up to at this point.
It's one of my favorites.
All right,
Yeah.
all right. If I was gonna go 1 to 10, I'm gonna go. It's definitely good, and I do like the atmosphere too. The drinks were actually good. They have the good beer tap selection. I'm gonna go 7. I think 7's a good spot. Not amazing, but there's nothing like really big that stands out to detract from the score. So I mean, always room for improvement. So I'm gonna go 7. Anything else you want to add to the inaugural review?
No, I think great vibe in there. If you're in town or if you live here and you haven't been there yet, definitely check it out. Drinks are good. Food's amazing. And the factory's a cool spot anyway, so check that out. There's a lot of other restaurants, donut places, things like that in there. But in general, Mojo's is one of our favorites for a reason.
It's a cronut.
I guess
Cronut
the cronut's
place.
amazing too. Yeah, $5. But apparently I like it a little more than Chris. So
it's all right. So I think we're good here, and the only thing that we'll say is we're always looking for suggestions from listeners, business owners, things like that. If you want us to come and review the place, reach out to us on one of the platforms, and we'll go over that at the end. But yeah, anybody reach out directly to us and let us know if you have a good spot you want us to review. Otherwise, I'm good here. You good?
Yeah, and we'll see you next Thursday with episode 2.
All right. Thanks for listening. Download our episodes on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram at Nashville Scoop Podcast. I'm at The Nashville Realtor and Craig is at Real Estate Rockstar.